Hello students, welcome to the physics tutorial class. So today I am not going to conduct the interactive session. As you see in the last class, few students were facing this network problem. So due to poor network, they are unable to understand what I was writing on the board, right? So I thought of teaching you in YouTube video. Okay, so here I am with a new topic, you can say, from the same chapter, that is from laws of motion only. This is a small portion over there. If you see in the book, that is friction, right? So there are different types of forces, there are contact forces and non-contact forces. We know, we have learned in our junior classes. The contact forces are those forces where there is a physical contact between the two bodies, and non-contact forces are those forces which no physical contact is required, but still one body exerts a force on the other, like a gravitational force, like magnetic force, electrostatic force, right? So these are the non-contact forces. So today we are going to discuss one of the contact forces, that is called friction. Okay, so friction is a very important topic, and a maximum number of questions comes from this topic, right? What is friction? So how this friction has originated? So what is the origin of this friction? What is the old view, what is the modern view, right? So we will learn in this video. So watch the video till the end and mark if any doubt you have, right? In the next interactive class, when I will interacting with you in the teams, I will be asking you what are your doubts, so you need to ask me, right? So mark your questions, read the book nicely after this session. So let's start our class today. You see friction. So what is friction? The first question comes here. What is friction? We know that because of friction we are able to walk, we are able to write. So if there is no friction, then we can't do our daily routine works, right? So friction is a force which comes into play when one body tries to slide over another body. When one body tries to slide over another body, that means there is a relative motion between the two bodies, then friction comes into play. That time friction force or frictional force occurs. So because of the frictional force only we are able to walk. When we are able to walk, we are applying a force on the ground, and ground is exerting a force on our feet, right, in an opposite direction. That means there is a relative motion. Due to this relative motion, a frictional force comes into play. Now this friction has been the perception of friction was different in old view and modern view. In the old view, it was said that more is the roughness of the surface, more will be the friction. That means if the surface is more rough, then more will be the friction. Now what was the reason behind that? You see, if I consider this is one body, and if you see by microscope, every body down part we have like this, right, irregularities, and the body which is want to slide over this body will be having like this, right? They will be having, these are the depressions, you can say, and projections. Like when I say this one, if you zoom this one, you will find these are said to be as projection, okay, and this part is called depression. So when projection and depression, when they fix each other, right, and there are irregularities are there, then there will be a friction between that two bodies. So here projection are fitting with here depressions. So more the irregularities, more will be the friction. This was according to the old view. So according to the old view, that it depends upon the area of contact, right? Now you see, larger the area of contact between the surfaces, greater should be the force of friction between them. So this was the first logic which was given in the old view. The more is the area of contact, the more will be the friction. Now if you see in the other way, then that means if the surfaces both are very smooth, extra smooth, that means there won't be any friction. So according to this view, it says that if the surfaces are extra smooth, then there won't be any friction, right? When surfaces in contact are extra smooth, forces of friction between them should almost vanish, but actually it is not vanishing. So that means there is a limitations of old view. So old view is saying that it is dependent on area of friction, and if the surfaces are extra smooth, then there won't be any friction, right? So this limitation was being fulfilled by in a modern view. This was given an explanation to this limitation. So modern view, according to modern view, friction is an independent of the area of contact. Independent of the area of contact. This means that with increase in the area of contact of force, now when that objects, when both the bodies are very closer to each other, that means you see, when they are very closer to each other, the molecules of both the bodies will be very near to each other. There will be a less distance between the molecules of two substances. Like if I say this is one body, and this is trying to slide over the another body, right? This is now, if this distance between the two bodies are very less, that means the molecules are very closer to each other. In that case, the force of adhesion will be more, that means adhesive force will be more. And due to adhesive force means the interatomic particles or intermolecular particles will be very close to each other. So due to adhesive force, again force of friction will increase. So in an old view it was said that if both the substances are extra smooth, then their friction should have been less, that means there would have been any friction. Okay, so but in a modern view it is said that if the surfaces are very smooth, that means extra smooth are there, then again the friction of force will be more, because in that case adhesive force will be more, right? So when the surfaces are extra smooth, distances between the molecules of the surface in contact decreases, that means the distance between the two molecules of two bodies will decrease, thus increasing the adhesive force. So does the force of friction. So this was the old view and this was the modern view. Okay, so modern view is saying that it is independent of the area of contact. So yes, it depends upon the irregularities. If the irregularities are there, if there are depressions and projections are interlocked with each other, then there will be a force of friction, right? But this doesn't mean that if the surfaces are extra smooth, then there won't be any friction. So if the surfaces are extra smooth, that means here the molecules, the interatomic molecules or the intermolecules of both the bodies will be very closer to each other, and adhesive force will be more, due to which the force of friction will increase. So friction are of two types, one is external and one is internal. Internal friction, when I say there is a friction between the different layers of the liquid, that means when a liquid is passing through a cross-sectional area of a tube, different layers of liquid, they try to oppose each other. There is a relative motion between different layers of the liquid. Like we say that mustard oil is more viscous than water, that means the liquid layers are very closer to each other, due to which it makes its density higher than that of water. So that was internal friction. Okay, so that we call it the viscosity of the liquid. So here we will discuss the different external frictions. So different external frictions are static friction, limiting friction and kinetic friction. Okay, so like for example, there is one table. If I draw here one table, this is one table and one block is placed here. The block weight is acting downwards, reaction force is acting upward, right? So when you are applying a force here, P, this P is the applied force. When you are applying a force in a forward direction, a frictional force acts in the backward direction, right? So this frictional force, now you see, a object will not move when your applied force and the frictional force both are equal to each other. Okay, here the motion has not started. That frictional force which is acting on that body is known as static friction. Okay, so what is static friction? We'll see the opposing force that comes into play when one body tends to move over the surface of another. That means when you are applying a force in the forward direction, this object is trying to move in the forward direction, but here the applied force and frictional force, they are equal and opposite, but the actual motion has not yet started. Okay, so here we say that actual motion, the object is not moving. So you see this friction which is exerting on that object is called here as static friction. So I repeat, what is static friction? The opposing force that comes into play when an object motion has not yet started. Okay, so this is called static friction. Now limiting friction means what? The maximum opposing force. Now if you draw a graph between a force of friction and applied force, that means when you are applying a force, okay, frictional force is increased. So this linear line, it is called the static friction. That means the applied force is equals to force of friction. Both the forces are balancing each other. Therefore, the motion has not yet started. But limiting friction means what? The maximum static friction. So the maximum static friction which is acting on the object which is at the verge of moving. Now object has not started moving, but it is at the verge of moving, at a final point of moving. Okay, so it is a maximum opposing force that comes into play when one body is just at the verge of moving over the surface of the other body. So that is this object, when you are applying a force in forward direction, when it is at a verge of moving, at the final point of moving, that the friction acting at that time, that is called here as limiting friction, right? So here you see limiting friction, A is the verge point. So limiting friction. Now when you apply a force much more greater than that of limiting friction, then the object starts moving, and that is called as here kinetic friction or dynamic friction. Okay, so here you see that from O to A is called as here static friction. At a point of A, here limiting friction is acting, and when the object is start moving, that time kinetic friction, we get here kinetic friction. So it is said here that kinetic friction is less than that of limiting friction, right? So maximum opposing force, so maximum friction is acting on the body is the limiting friction, and when the object is moving, when it is in motion, then frictional force decreases, right? So this was the three different types of friction, external types of friction, that is static friction, limiting friction and kinetic friction. So this graph is also important, and along with this definition. So I hope you have understood today's class. So this class we will continue this one. So till then refer your books and write these notes in your exercise book. See you soon.